Good evening, and welcome to the St. Petersburg by Night podcasting network. Tonight, we present to you our Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle, Hounds.
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes or be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the heart of night, we rise from shadows, howling at the moon, igniting our battles, cleansing Gaia of an endless light, until our final days we will fight. Thanks, man, we stand united as one. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the brave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Everywhere we run, the wind is at our back. All the warring forces we will track. From the depths of the ocean to the clouds in the sky, vampires tremble as we learn to fight. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the brave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hands. Together we rise, take our final stand. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Everywhere with the pack, let the night be our guide. In battles of honor, we shall never hide. Fuck will never hide.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Pete by Night Entertainment Network, where we play St. Petersburg by Night, a massive multiplayer 5th edition World of Darkness chronicle set in the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. My name is Kent, also known as Misha Kent on all social media, and I am the lead storyteller of St. Pete by Night. And it's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Hounds, our second Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle set in the city of Tampa, right across the bay from St. Petersburg, Florida, where a pack of young Garou have migrated from the state of Michigan to act as reinforcements to the Sept of the Evening Star. And they have been learning their way as Garou, as they are a bunch of young teenagers who have made their first change within the past 18 months. And they have started to actually come together as a group. They have started to mature and change and learn the ropes and have started to take on the challenges of finding what it means to be Garou, what it means to fight for Gaia, what it means to be part of this ever dangerous world of darkness. But if you like what you've heard so far, you should check out all of those links in the description down below and follow us. And if you really like what you see, you should join our Discord community of over 200 plus fans of the World of Darkness like yourself, and you could be participating in all sorts of discussions and activities that we have over on that Discord server. We'd love to have you, so come and join us. But of course, we couldn't tell this amazing story without some pretty amazing players, so let's go ahead and introduce those players now. Players, go ahead and introduce yourselves, if you please.
It's dude. Name's Jay. I'll be playing Deadbeat, the Bonar Rune.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Nikki, and I'll be playing Delphine Ruinspeaker, the Silent Strider Theurge.
Hey everyone, my name's Ben. I'll be playing Raymond Gorn, the Ghost Council Philodox.
Hello there, I'm Caity, and I will be playing Aurora Rory Woods, the Bonar Galliard.
Hi, my name is Lilith, and I'll be playing Juniper Camine, the Black Fury Ragabash.
Players, over the last few weeks, this pack has seen some growth. Whether it's been growth in terms of individuals or growth together as a pack. We've seen each member of the pack have their own trials and tribulations. We've seen them come up against challenges. We've seen them experience struggles. We've seen them witness some pretty uncanny and unbelievable things that they never thought they would ever see, things that they couldn't even believe were possible, things that as of a year ago seemed like they would only be fantasy, things that would come out of TV shows or movies or horror, things that would only come out of nightmares. But now these are very, very real threats. And now these are threats that they are expected to stop. Now, as most of this pack are less than the age of 20, they're expected to grow very quickly. And they've been told that if they don't, they may not even make it to see the age of 20. Because a guru's lifespan is maybe, if they're lucky, the age of 25. A very short-lived life. And in Tampa, that's not even a guarantee, because the guru here have an even higher challenge, an even harder challenge than most other places. And this pack is quickly learning that the more and more they experience. As they've come to learn about the threat that this sept is facing, as they've come to learn just how different this sept is compared to the sept back home, the question rises, is this a place they want to commit to? Is this a place they want to stay? Are they up to the challenge? So far, it seems like the answer is yes. So far, it seems like this pack is committed to the cause. It seems like they're willing to overcome their selfishness. It seems like they're willing to change. But they are teenagers after all. And change is a lot harder than it seems. Especially when you're set in your ways, especially when you come from the very difficult upbringings that most of you have had. So in our first scene of the evening, two Ragabash come together for a discussion, two very difficult upbringings. Perhaps they can come to an understanding. Perhaps one can gain the wisdom that she very much needs after having made some very, very dire mistakes over the past few months. Or maybe she'll just be led further astray. Our scene begins in the early afternoon. As Juniper, you arrive at the cairn. You've been looking to meet with the elder Ragabash of the Sept, a man by the name of Lucas Shaw, a guru of some renown within the Sept. You've been avoiding stakes for some time, but she had told you that you should talk to the other Ragabash, that he might have some words of wisdom for you. And maybe that if you won't listen to her, maybe you'll listen to him. Now, Lucas, you had been asked by Stakes to talk to Juniper because she has been having some struggles acclimating to Tampa, acclimating to the pack life, to the atmosphere. That she's been kind of rebelling against the whole process. And that Stakes worries if she continues to push back, she's going to get herself killed here. What's going through both of your minds going into this meeting? Juniper, we'll start with you.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. Especially with some of the actions that I made a little bit ago. Did not quite make the greatest first impression to Lucas. Not that I actually talked to him directly at all, but yeah, I'm nervous, I'm apprehensive, I'm a little scared, and I don't want to just be told to like fall in line with the pack and the typical like get your head out of your ass shit talk like that. I'm definitely just really nervous about this conversation.
And Lucas.
Lucas has been avoiding this mentoring, the kin seeking, the being viewed as a person to look up to for a very, very long time. So he also is quite apprehensive about this conversation. But after talking to Stakes, he feels like maybe they could have a productive conversation.
So Juniper, as you enter into the clearing that is the main hub of the cairn, you see that Lucas has been hard at work trying to construct a lodging of some kind off to one side, that there is a lot of lumber kind of piled up off to one side of the area, mostly made up of fallen wood, dead wood that has been collected from off in the surrounding bawn. As you approach, he takes notice of you, and the scene is yours.
Lucas will kind of stare at her, watching her approach, and then he'll hop down from where he's working and take a drink of a bottle of water and wipe off his hands and just kind of put his hands on his hips.
As I come up, I just kind of like watch this happen and wait patiently for Lucas to finish wiping off his hands before stopping and looking at him. Hi.
So what's the name I'm actually going to call you by?
I give him like a bewildered look. What do you mean?
Last time I saw you, you told me one name, and Stakes told me another name. So I just want to make sure we set that groundwork prior.
My face kind of pales a little bit as I cringe internally as I remember that night at the club. Oh, right. Yeah. You can just call me Juniper.
Juniper. Good, because that's the name everybody else used. Is that the name you want to go by? Is that who you are?
I mean, it's the name I was born with. It's the name I've always gone by. It's all I've ever known. Oh, except for the nicknames.
Lucas will kind of look down at the ground and rub his eyes. Okay. On the off chance that other Silverfangs and absolutely, Gaia forbid, other Shadow Lords come here, you're going to need to learn how to properly introduce yourself. I don't think anybody's taught you that, have they?
No, not a single person has mentioned that.
Yeah,
Not even
so
Charles.
it's simple. It's more of like a formality thing. Just what's your auspice? What's your tribe? What's your name? What positions you hold? And if you have a name you have earned or go by, like this, I would tell you Lucas Shaw, Ragabash, Shadow Lord, Keeper of the Land, Master of Challenges for the Sept of the Evening Star, and my pack calls me Stormrunner. Get an introduction like that, you make an impression, right?
I mean, yeah, at first, I'll admit I was kind of rolling my eyes, but when you said it all out loud like that, it was like a heaviness to it.
We grew. As annoying as it may be sometimes, we wrap ourselves in tradition. It's just what we do. Whether you like it or not, it's going to follow you no matter where you go. So instead of trying to swim upstream, you might as well just embrace it.
Well, I mean, some tradition, yeah, but from what I've been learning, I don't think that it should just fall in with all of the traditions of Guru.
Well, is that you, or is that your moon that's telling you that? Or is it the Black Fury inside you telling you that?
I mean, probably a good mix of all of them.
You got told to come here, so you came here. Right? So some things are worth following up on. Some requests, orders, commands, whatever you want to call them, are worth following, aren't they?
I mean, I didn't really come here because I was told to. It was more like I got asked to very nicely, more like a request, and then I need your help with this kind of deal.
Yeah, Stakes and Charles were pretty concerned about you. And believe me, it was shocking to me that they wanted me to talk to you. But here we are. So what's going on? What's your deal? What's your story?
Uh, um, this is kind of like kick around with my foot awkwardly for a moment and look around, trying to figure out one, where to start, and two, where to start without spilling all the lore in one, like right from the get go. I mean, there's not too much to tell, you know? I grew up on like a homesteading property up in Michigan. High quality builders murdered my entire family. I hate them. I want to make them pay. My pack sucks. Not all of them. Deadbeat really sucks. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. That's it. That's the big story. I clap my hands.
Roll me a manipulation and subterfuge. Roll me a wits and insight, Lucas.
Rage 1 or 2.
I would say you're at a rage 2.
What about me? Probably like
You're probably at a 1.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Four successes.
Yeah, I got two. Got 2 successes there.
She is absolutely withholding. When she says there's not much to tell, that was a bold-faced lie. And then when she recounted her story, that is true. Most of the story is true, but she is definitely withholding. She didn't lie about anything she said in the story. Everything she said in the story is true, but she is not telling the whole story.
Lucas will look down at the ground and look back up. Okay, we're going to set some ground rules here. Ragabash to Ragabash. Fuck up to fuck up. You're going to fight every urge you have to lie to me. And if you manage to get through all of this without lying to me, you might learn a little bit about me that the rest of your pack may not know. As a matter of fact, I'll start first. Born north of Chicago. Mom killed dad. Kinseekers found me when I was 4, 5. Story they told me is mom turned into a Fomori. Dad died defending me, killed her. Grew up on a sept my entire life, knowing what I was going to become. So I've been in this life for a long time, and I've seen a lot of people. Doesn't make me an expert, doesn't make me better than anybody else. Trust me, it doesn't. When you're a little kid growing up in a cairn, you get ignored a lot. And when your first change doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, the sept treats you differently. Besides, that sept wasn't a good one. So, there's a little piece of my story. So I got a question for you. Did you take out your vengeance on them?
I just kind of stare blankly at Lucas for a moment. But the side of my mouth starts twitching, and I start to smirk. And I look down and I say, yeah. Yeah, I did.
Good. Because Stakes already gave me the answer to that question. So I already know. How did you reconcile that? Or have you not reconciled that yet?
Reconciled taking them out, or reconciled them taking out my family?
Well, they're dead. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you reconciled that, taking care of your family. How did you reconcile? As it was put to me, being a cold-blooded killer.
That's kind of harsh.
I'm a Shadow Lord. I'm gonna be harsh, but I'm gonna be truthful, as long as you are.
I mean, I don't feel bad about what I did, if that's what you're asking. They deserved it. My family wasn't the first one that they've done this to. There were several other families in the area that were being forced out of their lands, forced out of their homes. People all over the country, people all over the world are being forced to vacate or straight up murdered for their land just for high quality builders or whatever higher organization is controlling them can poison everything and fuck everything up. If I hadn't have taken them out, they would have just done that to probably our neighbors. I don't feel bad about it. I don't think that makes me a cold-blooded killer. So as far as reconciling what I did, I don't feel like there's anything about that in particular that I have to yeah.
Okay. So you justify it. A righteous kill. I can sympathize with that. Some builders, construction workers, crane operators, maybe a foreman, maybe a contractor, maybe an architect. It's a building company, right?
I mean, I guess it would depend on how much they knew. They knew exactly what they were working for, who they were working for, supporting what those companies do. Sometimes diplomacy isn't enough.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. You think if you stop at a fast food place, the poison those people are hucking, that the people working there deserve to die? I mean, because that's what they're doing. They're spreading it, right? They're part of the machine, just another cog in the system, just another bad apple in the bunch. Purge them, right? Cleanse them. It's righteous. Feels good, doesn't it?
I just stand there silent as I mull over what he's saying. And I'm just internally thinking, well, I guess that goes back to what I was saying. Sometimes diplomacy isn't enough, but sometimes it is.
It's a step in the right direction. He'll motion over to where there are gardens growing various foods that him and Eliza tend to. We planted raspberries a while back. Raspberry is a really interesting plant. If you don't pay attention to it, if you let it run wild, it will overtake everything around it and kill it. So you have to prune every now and then. And we, Ragabash, we're the new moon, right? Luna's not looking at us. She doesn't see us. And some Ragabash see that as an invitation. That we are the ones that operate where she doesn't want to look. But I'll tell you, that would be the wrong assumption. You know, an Arun, the full face of Luna, her full rage. But I have known more calm, collected, and calculated Aruns in my lifetime than I could ever admit. Charles, Aiden, they had their shit together. But so nobody's watching us. So that red, that hate, that rage that bubbles up inside you, that goes into your mind and tells you it's a righteous thing you do. Sometimes that's just like raspberries. It's just growing and creeping and growing and creeping. And if you don't prune it, pretty soon everything else is dead. So while I can understand taking that rage out on somebody that killed your family, I'm not discrediting that at all. I'm not. Be very, very careful. We Ragabash, we're funny. That's our job, right? To be funny, that's not our only job. We have a lot we have to do to ourselves because nobody's watching us, because we operate quietly and away from everybody else. At least that's what we want to do. But that means there's nobody to watch us when we start to lose it. I get it. You're going to want a lot of opportunities to go out by yourself. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think some of the nastiest looks I've ever gotten from Aspen is when I did the same thing. So, it's an urge, and you're going to have to fight it. But, you said your pack sucks?
Really just one of them, if I'm being honest.
Which one?
Which one do you think? It's
Oh,
Deadbeat.
the big one?
Yes, the big one.
He's fine. Really?
He's an asshole with an inflated ego who bullies me and the rest of the pack all the time.
So, Ragabash, why haven't you gotten the entire pack together to return it to him as one, unified? Look, the funny thing, the humor thing, that's a trope. It's if you see a system, if you see a person and it's not functioning properly, you have to challenge it. You have to make it better. If your pack's not working, it's not your pack leader's fault. It's not the asshole's fault. It's your fault. We are the ones that fix broken things. We change things that need to be changed. Do I piss my pack off? Yes, I do. Do you piss your pack off? Or just him?
I would say just him, but I don't think that my pack leader is the happiest with me right now either. So,
Is that the one with the beard?
yes. It's the soldier guy. Kind of looks like he has a stick up his ass all the time.
Well, from what I've heard, I'd probably have a stick up my ass if I was dealing with you guys too.
I'm not the best at connecting with everybody or getting them all together and fixing the system, as you're saying. I don't know. This is all just a lot. And I don't really know where I fit into it all. I know that you're talking about the Ragabashes do and this and that, but like the way that you're saying it just comes from so much experience, and like sure I hear it all, but it's different hearing it than it is seeing it in practice, I guess. And Stakes, sure, she's a Ragabash too, but she's also basically like our bomb. So I view her as that more than anything else. Do you get what I'm saying?
Who, aside from Eliza, who do you think is the oldest person here, and how old do you think they are?
I don't know, like 30 something.
We're a bunch of 20-nothing idiots. Like, honestly, how much experience do you think we have?
Well, you just said it. You said it yourself. Like you've been in this basically since childhood.
Wasn't it a pack? Like, nobody's expecting the world from you, right? But that's your pack. Something somewhere out there in that whatever in the Umbra and the spirits brought you guys together for a reason. They had a star, a literal star, show up in the cab of my truck and said, "Hey, dude, you got to go down to Tampa. These people need you." And I got down here and I spent a couple weeks and I immediately wanted to leave because no thank you. But stayed, got yelled at, fucked some shit up, got to beat up some really old vampires, got to meet some cool people because it was worth it. So the job sucks. The Ragabash job sucks. The pack job sucks. The Guru job sucks. That's just it. But you know what you do have control over is how you treat the rest of the people in your pack. And I'm not saying you treat them bad. I don't know. But it can start with you. Maybe Mr. Stick Up His Butt's got a good idea. Maybe nobody else likes it. Maybe it's not such a great idea, but it's not a horrible idea. Maybe somebody's got to take that jump. Why not you?
I mean, I guess I could give it a try. This is all just a lot more than I ever thought it would be. And all of it's really thrown a wrench in my plans. And I'm just I don't know. I'm still just grumpy about it, I guess.
Got
Maybe
a
I
hot
have been
date
taking
somewhere?
it. No. What?
You said you
No.
got plans. What do you got plans for?
I was planning on going after higher ups and high quality builders and everything back in Michigan. And then we got kicked out of the Sept. And I guess I'm just still angry at my pack. And part of me doesn't really want to help them get better or improve or anything because fuck them and everything for ruining what we had up there. And yeah, maybe things are nice down here and everything and all of that, but like they're also fucking selfish. Like why shouldn't I be selfish too? I don't know. I'm just upset. I'm just upset about the whole thing. There's some days where I'm feeling better, feeling fine, feeling hopeful, and other days where I just want to quite literally burn it all down and say, yeah, fuck this group, fuck this pack, I'm going home. But I get what you're saying. Sorry for going off like that. I just. I don't know what came over me there. Sorry.
You're a guru. What do you fucking think came over you? You still haven't tied down that part of you yet, right? It's never going away. It's always gonna be there. I promise you. Even when you don't want it. Pissed off, angry. You just gotta ride it out. Sucks. But, I mean, we all have it. But I got one question for you, and it's gonna raise that anger level probably a little bit. So just, that's the best I can do to soften it. If your family was alive, knowing what you're doing, do you think they'd be proud of you right now? Do you think they'd look at you and be happy with what you're doing? If they knew everything, and they're your family, so they would be eligible to know everything. Ghislaine are a thing. Do you think they would support everything you're doing right now? Because they're family, right?
As the question really sets in, I start to frown and I don't really know what to say. For a few moments as I think about how my parents would react, my brother, my grandfather. And all I can really choke out is I mean, I can definitely see them having mixed reactions, but not all of them good. Not if they knew everything.
As Lucas had asked that question, another memory stirs. A conversation with Stakes by the river. You're here looking for family. And that family is Guru.
I furrow my eyebrows as I remember this. Though I don't know what all of my family would think. Apparently some of them are Gru. I just haven't found them yet.
That's not common, but it's not impossible. It's not really often a bloodline thing, but okay, so you've got kin or Guru in your family. And they're out there somewhere?
Yeah. Stakes actually mentioned it to me a little while ago. She said part of the reason she wanted me to come down here is because they're here.
Been here a while. I haven't, I mean, unless this person's really good at hiding, met any other Guru. I mean, before I got here, Eliza was in the depths of Hirano, and Ryder was Ryder. I mean, Aspen and them were still able to find them, so that's interesting. That's all Stakes knew.
Yeah, she didn't really give much more information. She didn't know much. That's actually part of the reason I did agree to come down here. Or at least one of the reasons I decided to stay.
Once Tampa gets its hooks in you, it typically doesn't let go. So, welcome to the club. Yeah, that's weird. That's interesting.
Yeah, it'd be kind of crazy if I ended up being like related to Charles or something like that. Oof.
That is the wrong person to take a first guess at. Charles is part of a thing. I don't know if you've... It's a royal nobility silver fang thing. It's complicated. The last name, it's kind of famous, so I would not pick Charles as your first guess on that one. But
No, I wasn't. I was making a joke. Like it would, it would be crazy if it was, because it would not, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't.
Your delivery needs a lot of work. We're going to work on that. We're going to work on your delivery. Your delivery is just, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
What?
The deadpan thing went out in the 80s. Nobody does that anymore. That shtick is old. It's not good. You got to get the snappy one-liners. That's the hotness right now. Snappy one-liners. Throw those out there. Okay? Go watch some movies.
Look, I used to be a lot funnier, but,
And I used to be a lot better looking, but shit changes, okay? So you need to figure it out.
Lucas, the more you think about it, and you think about the kind of overall Tampa Guru lore, there was another Guru that was here before the pack arrived. Artie.
I mean, all that aside, come to think of it, there is one I know was here before we got here. He's a glasswalker. He's a Ragabash like us. His name's Artie. I thought he had a brother. I was pretty sure he had a brother. Had is keyword there, sensitive subject. Just breach that one slowly with him. Worth going to talk to him? Maybe? When he gets back?
When he gets back?
Yeah, he didn't take the loss of one of our pack mates very well. A lot of us didn't. I didn't. Aspen didn't. He didn't. So he went out to go be the emissary. So he's been driving around the last several months, visiting other seps and kind of trying to mend fences. Hadn't talked to him in a while, but he should be back at some point. Certainly put Aspen in a better mood. They're a thing. It's a thing. They're a thing. It happens.
Like they're in a relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Still. These things are always complicated. It's not really my thing, but yeah. I might want to, I don't know, reach out to him when you see him.
Okay. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Like I said, this job sucks, but you gotta go be the glue. Right? If something's broken, go break it some more so you can build something new. Right? That's what we do. We find problems, we smash them down, we build up better things. Scar tissue. Trust me. I know a lot about it. Go fix it.
You know, I came here looking for advice and camaraderie, and I feel like I got that. But somehow this all also just got kind of worse.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the job. That's the job. You'll be fine.
And to just have a look of like a person who just smelled something not pleasant on my face, like, Internally, I'm just like, oh, I don't believe you, but okay. All right. Yeah. I just kind of like scratch the back of my head. I don't really know where to go from here. Can I help you with the garden or something?
Good with a hammer?
Pretty good with a hammer.
All right. Pick up some tools. Let's get to work.
Sounds good to me.
As the two Ragabash set to work on a new structure for the cairn, it's hard to say whether anything was gained from the conversation, because Ragabash advice is like a double-edged sword. You walk away sometimes with more questions than answers, but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you need those questions. Sometimes you have to second guess yourself. Sometimes you have to keep asking. Whether it's questioning yourself, whether it's questioning those around you, whether it's questioning what you thought you already knew. We now transition to our next scene. In our next scene, two pack members look to make amends for different reasons. Raymond, you wish to apologize for how you acted before in the presence of Rory. And Rory, you wish to apologize for literally jumping the gun when Raymond was confronting Juniper in Stepford Hell. The question is, who's going to apologize first? And will all be forgiven? Raymond, as you go looking for Juniper, as you go looking for Rory in the house, you find her in the backyard this evening, likely out smoking in the backyard. So you open the sliding glass door that leads to the backyard, and the scene is yours.
After opening the back door, walking through and closing it behind me, walk up kind of next to Rory and stand there for a few seconds and then see that she is probably smoking. I will turn to her.
She's definitely smoking. Not entirely ignoring your presence, but more just paying attention to the sky. Has no music going on, no earbuds in, just looking up, thinking to herself and enjoying a smoke as you walk out.
Do you mind if I steal one?
She'll kind of give him a curious, look. Knock yourself out, and she'll offer him a cigarette.
I'll take it and light it up with the lighter and take a small drag. It's been a while since I've smoked.
Ray, when you smoke, what does it remind you of?
It reminds me of sitting on watch, staring out into the night of endless darkness, doing everything in my power to stay awake, with basically the only thing to do that, nicotine and energy drinks. So it brings me back a little bit.
Does it also remind you of Jordan?
A bit, yes. It does remind me of Jordan.
Roll me a composure and resolve, please.
Composure resolve? Was that what it was?
Yes.
Sorry? Okay. I'm assuming one rage?
Yes, one rage.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
Two successes.
A shiver goes up your spine at the thought of it, causing you to kind of shudder a little bit. But you kind of swallow hard, pushing it down, pushing that sensation down. But it's enough to make you just shudder enough for Rory to notice. You may continue.
She'll make a little mental note of that shuddering. And after her last interaction with him, she's gonna wait for him to say something first. But kind of acknowledge, like, you good? In, like, her demeanor, her expression, like, now kind of more focus on him being there rather than just being outside and looking up.
Noticing the look, I will cough a little bit from the shudder and everything. Yeah, I'm okay. It's been a while since I've smoked, but I felt like I needed it recently, so there's really two things that the military will give you. One is a broken and destroyed body that you have to live with the rest of your life, and the second is a nicotine addiction.
Fair enough. So, I reckon you came out here for more than just a smoke.
I'll take another small drag and exhale and kind of my other hand scratch the back of my head and look kind of down. Yeah. I've been told a lot recently about having the need to connect with everyone, and with that, I wanted to apologize for the last conversation we had. I reacted a little strong, and that was a little unfair to you. So I didn't want to start off a conversation ignoring that, and I wanted to acknowledge it.
She'll look a little taken aback by that. And then she'll take a big drag. And when she exhales, she makes sure to, like, point it away from Ray. Kind of more out of, like, a respect thing, because being short and downwind and smoking with people is never fun. I accept your apology. I probably shouldn't have poked after that night. We were all kind of, riled up. And, I suppose I should apologize for some of my actions. Particularly, shooting Juniper and not following your orders.
I'll nod my head a little bit at that. I mean, I already had to deal with someone else not listening and doing their own thing, and so you did compound that. But even though you should have left, and you should have left 100%, you were trying to help, albeit very poorly, in my opinion. I don't think there's any time that you should shoot someone that you're trying to negotiate with. Never leads to good things. But the intention was there. So maybe next time, listen and don't shoot someone, thinking that it'll help.
She'll kind of smirk at that. Fair enough. I already apologized to her for that, and I already also told her it was more of a cautionary thing. Didn't know if, didn't want to risk the chance of her convincing you to go with her as well. So you were also kind of a target.
Well, it's good to know that you were probably going to shoot me too. Yeah, that changes my thoughts a little bit, but I can tell you right now there was no way that Juniper was going to convince me to go with her on that. But it's good to hear that you guys apologized. And you guys hopefully made up.
I suppose so. I mean, we talked quite a bit. Gonna be, potentially doing some things together in the future. And she'll put out her cigarette and put the butt in an ashtray that they probably have in the backyard somewhere.
Well, that's a step. That's good. But not only did I want to apologize, I wanted to extend the opportunity for you to ask me some things. I know that last time you tried to ask me questions and it immediately went bad. And so I want to give you the opportunity to ask questions about myself that I can try to tell you.
Storyteller, may I make an insight to see if he's being genuine on this offer?
Sure. Give me wits and insight. Raymond, are you being genuine?
Yes.
Yeah, then I would
Yes.
say you don't even need to make an insight check. Then
okay.
yeah, you're gonna succeed. So yeah.
All right, I got 2, but
Yeah.
if I
Then,
succeed,
yes.
she's still gonna kind of be suspicious and cautious. What's the catch?
Well, I have been told repeatedly that I need to get to know you guys. So if you ask questions about me, I want to be able to ask questions about you so I can get to know you. More
So
than
what,
just...
What I'm hearing is you're finally starting to give listening a try.
I mean, I've always been listening, but I am trying to listen better.
Hearing something and listening to something are 2 completely different things, but I'll accept the offer.
I will say, though, if you ask me something, and this will also be for you as well. If you ask me something and I do not want to talk about it, I will tell you. There are certain things I do not want to remember. I do not want to bring up. So, if I say, let's pass this question, I'm not talking about it, don't poke. Because I know that you like to do that.
Fine. I won't poke if you extend me that same courtesy like you just said, and I'll hold you to it.
Fair. So, since I blew you off last time, ask me the first question.
start with this. With what Ember said, are you even willing to let us help you? If it will help you with that goal. I don't need to know what it is. I don't need to know what answers you're looking for. But I need to know that if it comes to us needing to help you out, to be prepared for that day.
This time I'll take a long drag from the cigarette and do my best not to cough. Exhale and yeah, eventually. But I don't know when eventually will be.
Alright, then I won't push that matter anymore. Are we gonna... What about me?
I mean, with what Ember mentioned about you, I extended the same offer of help last time, so I will return the question. With your situation and your issue, would you ask for help from us when you need it?
She'll kind of put her arms across her, like wrap her arms around herself a little bit, and think on that for a long moment. If it's who I think it is, then I might ask for help. It's all situational with that one.
Fair enough. I will not pry anymore.
I would appreciate that. She'll think of another question for a little bit. Kind of feeling a little awkward now. Getting the harder questions out of the way. I know back in Michigan when we would do the small talk and you would go watch me play and whatnot, we discussed a little bit about our past, but is there anything you just genuinely really miss and want, would want to go back to, or any of that?
Take a deep breath and do a sigh. I mean, I would love to just go back and see my family. Spend time with my mom, my dad, my Nana. But that's something I can't go back to. Possibly ever. So, as much as I would love to go spend time back home, I don't think I can for the rest of my life. So,
She'll give him a nod to that. I can only imagine how tough that is.
I mean, it'd be a little hard to show up out of the blue when everyone believes me to be dead. It's kind of hard to disappear for a year or more and to show up after being gone and dead for 2 or so years.
But it's not impossible. There are those miracle stories out there.
Unfortunately, there's no miracle. If I ever showed up, it would cause too many issues for everyone back home. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather just stay away.
I see. Your question now, because I guess we're doing a back and forth thing instead of multiple back to back.
I mean, you could have asked another question. I don't really care, but I'll think for a few seconds. If you don't mind me asking, why did you leave Alaska? I mean, you traveled a long way away. I know that you like to hitchhike and busk, but I feel like traveling all that way and all those miles feels a little like an insanely long distance to just go on a road trip.
She'll look up at the sky again. I didn't necessarily want to leave, but at the time I didn't feel like I had a choice. There was really nothing left for me at home. I built a reputation that is hard to change. And the more I think on that day, the more I'm not proud of it.
I mean, one bad day shouldn't have derailed your entire life. I mean, sometimes it does. Everyone has it that bad of a day. But it shouldn't have been something you couldn't have come back from.
It is when it's on your permanent record. It is when you live in a small tourist town where most people know everyone. Especially when your folks run one of the more common businesses in the area.
Yeah. That'll do it. I mean, so after that, just decided to head out, get as far away as possible.
More or less. Got in a nasty fight with my father. After they picked me up. Decided that night I had enough and just packed what I could and kept driving when my passport was no longer good enough in Canada. Came back to the States. Wound up in hell. Quite poetic.
Honestly, yeah. Very poetic for all of us. Take another hit of the cigarette. Probably getting a little low now from all the talking and just ignoring it. Well, ask one more, I guess. I don't want to bug you too long, and we've already asked some pretty big questions, so.
I mean, I'm always down for a smoking buddy. It gets very lonely out here at times. Well, when the stakes ain't coming out here to take a shit. But that's really not really ideal. Smoking companionship.
Yeah, I can see her just doing the business and leaving. Not very responsive in conversation.
No, and doesn't clean it up half the time, but and she'll laugh at that and then look back up at the sky. Did it look just like this while you were out there on the battlefield, or was it more daunting?
I'll look up at the sky after she asked that question. I mean, daunting, yeah. It was daunting most days, most nights, but it was a lot brighter over there. Not as much light pollution. The stars are brighter. You could see more of them out there. And where our base was located, it was probably, 15 clicks out from most towns. So we didn't have as much light. It was prettier. A lot more relaxing. But still daunting.
I'll see. And she'll point out the Ursa Minor. It's cool to see, though, that even down here I can still see that one.
Yeah, some just make it through. It's good. It's nice to look up and see things like that.
As the two of you finish your smokes, go ahead and finish your conversation. There's a stronger understanding. It's hard to open up and be vulnerable, especially in this group. There's been reason to distrust. You all come from very, very different backgrounds. Backgrounds of abusing and being abused, backgrounds of crime, backgrounds of hardship, backgrounds of war. So to open yourself up, to truly be vulnerable with another guru, with another human being even, that takes a lot of effort. But over time, You've tried. Over time, you've learned to trust one another. And now, a bond is formed. It's early, it's fragile, but even with just a few simple questions, even with a little bit of trust, maybe the answers could be a little vague. But with an offer of help and an acceptance of that offered help, that's a future being formed. That's a promise being made. Maybe there's something to this. Maybe this is a pack after all. We transition now to our next scene. Our next scene begins after a long and probably awkward car ride. Deadbeat, you received a call from Charles saying the two of you needed to go for a ride because Charles had a promise to fulfill. So after he picked you up, he began driving. And even if you inquired as to where you were going or what you were doing, he just simply responded with, "You'll see." But once the drive continued and you went far enough, you started to recognize exactly where you were going. And it's when you pulled into the complex known as Stepford Hell up in Old Seminole Heights, you knew exactly what he meant. He then pulled into the driveway of one of the houses in Stepford Hell, completely dismissing any idea of subterfuge, any idea of hiding his intentions. What was even stranger than that was when he reached into the glove box of the car, popped it open, and then pulled out a garage door opener and clicked it, causing the garage door of the house to open. He then put the car in park, climbed out, and went around to the trunk, which he popped open, to reveal 2 sledgehammers. He grabbed one, handing it to you, and grabbed the other, taking it for himself before walking toward the garage of the house. And this is where we begin our scene.
Taking the sledgehammer, I looked to him, kind of almost in shock for a second, as a smile will now break out on my face as I, almost giddy with excitement, start kind of jogging up towards the house, saying, "Shit, when you said, breaking into the house, or I guess, in the foundation, I didn't think we were going to tear it down. Hell yeah. I didn't. You should have just told me that."
We're not destroying the whole house. I found a location that seemed different than any of the others. There was something unusual about this particular section of flooring. And I figured, based off of the intelligence that you gathered, you would be the perfect person to help me investigate it.
Breaking a floor and finding out secrets? I'm your man. Hey, I got you.
I figured as much. Let's go inside. Walking through the garage, he opens the door into the house, at which point you enter in through what appears to be a mudroom, then through a kitchen, and into the living room. Heading to almost the exact center of the house, you can see that the laminate flooring has already been peeled back, revealing the concrete underneath. And in the concrete, there's a crease where it seems like the blocks of the concrete have been seamed together, where there's like a line in an almost cross-shaped pattern where 4 concrete blocks meet. Charles looks to you, then looks to where the four corners meet. How much do you know about construction, Deadbeat?
I take a moment to think. Kind of wave my hands side to side. Not much. I mean, I know they put the houses up. Don't they have like templates and shit they make houses from, whatever nowadays?
They do, especially in complexes like this. But one thing they certainly do not do, when they pour the foundation of a house, they don't have seams. It's usually one single block. Concrete comes in wet, and then it dries. So why would there be a seam? Why would there be any kind of crack or separation, especially for a recently built house? This was only constructed within the last several months. This isn't a mistake. This is a target. So, if there's any place we should begin our search, this is it. Would you like to do the honors?
I'll have a wide smile on my face as I get ready my hammer, as I'll say, I've been waiting for you to say that. Let's do this shit.
After you.
And I'll take my hammer and do a very wide swing, kind of. I definitely don't have a lot of experience, throwing around weapons or swinging weapons, but I do have a lot of body weight and a lot of strength. I just kind of throw my whole body into it. Just not a lot of grace, not a lot of finesse, but a whole lot of strength.
All right, give me a strength in melee.
No dots in melee crying. Do I have, what's my rage at right now? 1 or 2?
I would say you're at a 1. It is evening, though, so if you would like to howl at the moon to gain a little bit more rage, you can, but this isn't a particularly dangerous or intense situation, so you don't really have a need for rage, but it's up to you.
Actually, I'll do it so that I can shift to my Glabro.
All right,
So that
good
it's
call.
easier for me to do this. So I'll roll the rage check, which succeeded at the 7. So I will Hulk out my form, growing in size, as I get ready to swing this, knowing that I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I at least know I can be really strong at it. That is only 3 successes.
With 3 successes, you swing the hammer over, sending it down onto the seam where you see it cracks. It does hit the concrete pretty hard, sending a small crack throughout the concrete, but it's going to take several more swings of that magnitude to even start to break through the concrete. Charles takes off his suit jacket, folding it up and draping it over the counter in the kitchen. He then rolls up his shirt sleeves, taking the sledgehammer in one hand. He, in a windmill motion, brings it over and slams it down onto the concrete in an almost thunderclap, leaving a crater-like hole in the seam, driving it to the point that he has to seesaw the sledgehammer out to pull it out of the concrete. He then looks to you for your turn.
He catches me for a second, just staring in awe at this, kind of what the fuck? I look up at him, look back down at the crater he made. I was just,
and that wasn't Hamid.
Yeah, that's the crazier part. I'm in Glabro and he did even better than me, so I'm just looking down. I look up at him and is that a spirit gift thing? How the fuck did you do that? Did they teach you how to do that?
Practice,
man. So what, you practice swinging sledgehammers, swinging swords? What? They have like a special training plan? They got special juice for you?
I have been training to fight since I was a child. So yes, I've been swinging a lot of hammers and swords and bats and pretty much anything that could be used as a weapon. Yes. Also a lot of push-ups.
Like listening to that, I prepare and I'll do another swing of this hammer now, trying to like mimic it a little bit, but not. I definitely can't do it one-handed as well as he can, so I'm just two-handing it, trying to at least maybe I can replicate a little bit of what he's doing. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, roll it again.
We're 4. We got one better.
All right, so bringing down the hammer, you can see that you actually do send a nice big crack, sending big chunks of the concrete breaking off to the side. Charles gives an approving nod. On the follow-through of the swing, you want to position one hand up near the head of the hammer and then let it slide down as you swing. That'll send some momentum through, but you got a really good solid hit there.
Kind of like looks at the sledgehammer a little confused, kind of like does a little trial like test run of that, like kind of puts his hand by the head of it, kind of slides it down a couple times, just getting the feel for it. Just
you want to keep your bottom hand firm, but your top hand, let it do all of the work.
kind of nods to that as he'll look to Charles again and say, so, I mean, if you've been trained with a bunch of weapons, now I gotta know, what's like the weirdest weapon they had you train with? Now, like, because they got you trained with a bunch of stuff, right? Like, so they got, like, nunchucks? Did they ever get you to do nunchucks?
I never had to use nunchucks, no. But I would say that the strangest weapon that I ever had to fight with a shopping basket. Not a shopping cart, a hand basket.
Like as a training thing or like an actual fight?
A training thing. They wanted me to learn how to use any weapon in my surrounding to my advantage. So they would surround me with practical objects that you could find in any everyday situation. You never know when you might encounter a leech. It could be at a store, it could be in a club, it could be on the street. You need to be able to use any object to your advantage. You won't always be able to rely upon your fangs and claws, especially if you're surrounded by mortals around humans. You will need to be able to rely upon practical objects to neutralize them until you can get into a secure location, at which point, then you can make the transition.
Like I nod to that. Right now have my sledgehammer, the head of it on the ground, and I'm kind of leaning on it, waiting for him to take his turn. As I'm just kind of digesting that information, I give him like a nod for a go ahead for his turn.
He once again wheels back and in another windmill fashion brings it down, digging it deep into the ground before raking it up and pulling up a big kind of trash can lid sized section of concrete out of the ground.
So who were you trained by in order to like, because I know like, obviously probably not some normal upbringing to be trained to be fighting with shopping bags, but like like is this some werewolf thing? Or like werewolf upbringing grow thing? Cause I haven't really heard about that too much. Cause up there, none of us really came from like werewolf family tribe things.
Yes, I was born into the Guru Nation. I was raised by Guru. I was raised by my tribe, the Silverfangs. So when I was born, the kin seekers knew I was going to be Guru before I was even brought into the world. Falcon pointed them towards me while I was in the womb. So when I was born, they started my training as soon as I could walk. And they started teaching me the litany. They started preparing me for what I was going to become. They took me in and began training me almost immediately. It's a very rare thing to happen. Most Guru don't start showing signs until puberty, but my family were a rare breed.
It sounds not like you hit the jackpot, but I mean, not gonna lie. Also, it sounds kind of shitty, man. I mean, hey, I've been trained ever since birth. Like, since you can walk to do all this fighting stuff. It sounds like kind of exhausting, man. I mean, me personally.
It was an honor to serve my family and my tribe, but you miss out on the little things in life. You miss out on going to school or having normal friends and family. It's a completely different experience. Basically, you're a child soldier from the day you're born, and you know what your destiny is going to be, your fate. You know what's coming long before you can even comprehend the true weight of it. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but at the same time, to know that I can do something about it, to know that I can fight to save others, to prevent the end of the world. There's something great about that.
I'll think about that for a second as I'll now heft up my sledgehammer, giving it another swing down. See if get the kind of breathing a little bit heavier right now. Not tired, but the exertion is getting to me a little bit. I'm not used to swinging around sledgehammers, more swinging around my own fist. Having something like this is not in my repertoire. Not something I'm used to. That is, I'm going to actually use a willpower because this could be pretty cool. I don't want to get shown up by this guy. I gotta at least put a little bit of my own in here. Okay, that's 6 with a crit.
Okay, so as you crack through the remaining concrete, you hear a clang. Not just the sound of your steel-headed sledgehammer hitting stone, but breaking through to something metal beneath it. Charles immediately looks to where the strike landed. I think you found something. He then hops down in the ever-growing crater that the two of you have formed, and he starts to lift out the chunks of concrete and starts pulling them out and shoveling them to the side. And as he does so, more and more, you reveal a large steel container. But the more it's revealed, the more you come to learn what it is. It's about 7 feet long and about 3.5 feet wide. It's a coffin.
As I see this coffin slowly getting revealed, I told him I hope it wasn't a dead body. Motherfucker lied to me.
Charles, stares at it for a moment, then looks towards the padlocks that are attached to the door. I'm not entirely sure it's completely dead.
They just buried someone alive, unalive, whatever in here, and just put them in the foundation. And who the fuck pissed off that bad, or how the hell they pissed off those people that bad they got to do that to them?
Or it's something that's meant to be retrieved later.
Should we open it? I mean, we could probably handle whatever's in there, right?
Well, that depends. If it's one of the more powerful ones, it may have been meant to sleep for a while. Go to the back of my car. You'll find a gas can in the trunk. Grab that. Grab the box of matches you'll find in the back.
All right. I'll kind of put my sledgehammer down, just kind of toss it to the side, and I'll make my way out to grab the gas and the lighters. There's a little bit of fear in my mind, because as you said, this could be something that, this is a coffin. It's like it's probably a vampire thing, right? And if it is a vampire thing, last time I came across one that wasn't even that strong, it did some pretty crazy stuff to me. So the idea this might be something that Charles is afraid of is it's a little bit scary.
So as you head out to the car, following his instructions, you see that the trunk is still ajar, so you pull it open and you do, in fact, find the full gas can and the box of matches inside. Grabbing it, you bring it inside, where you find that Charles is still standing by the coffin inside the crater that has been unearthed. Passing him the gas can and the matches, he says, "Wait up there by the edge. I'm going to douse the coffin, and then I'm going to open it. Hold on to these matches. Strike one, and when I tell you to, drop it."
Looking down to hole. This is a very small hole, or like a very narrow hole, right?
It's pretty deep at this point because of the big, chunks that you pulled out and unearthed. It's gotten down to about 6 or 7 feet deep.
Yeah, but it's like very tight, right? Like a tight, kind of smaller.
Yeah, I would say it's probably about, 8 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah, so I'm like looking in there, seeing that it's a very tight, like narrow hole. You sure about that? I mean, I know you're probably pretty fast, but you sure you're fast enough to avoid getting lit on fire with whatever the hell that thing is?
Let me tell you a story about my first mission with Aspen and the rest of the pack. We were taking out a blood donation facility, and Artie was working at a computer. Aspen told him to execute a command, which in turn lit an entire room on fire that I happened to be in at the time. It took me over a week to heal. I think this should be nothing compared to that.
I don't say anything, but in my head, I'm like, God damn it, why have it be so badass? Like, just that feeling of, fuck this guy. Why have it be so cool? And I just kind of, but I'll just nod without saying anything as I'll have the matches ready, just kind of, ready to strike down at any point.
With the gas can, he starts to pour it over the coffin, before reaching down and twisting off the padlocks with his hands that are securing the coffin shut. He then grabs the lid and pulls it open. Inside, what you find is even more surprising. It is not a person, but instead a fully Krynosed werewolf. Frozen in place.
What the fuck?
Charles stares, perplexed, at the individual. And as he goes to touch them, they start to stir. They then turn their head and open their jaws, and a black ichor starts to pour from their mouth. He then looks to you and yells, "Light it," and hops out of the pit.
Yeah, I'll strike that match and drop it just in, as I just yell out, "Oh, what the fuck!"
Roll me a dexterity and athletics.
You got it. That would be 4 successes.
As you throw the match into the coffin, it almost immediately starts to engulf in flame. Charles, having hopped out of the pit, grabs the lid and slams it shut, holding it shut as the fire starts to engulf the lid, just burning from within. You can see the lid start to shake as he's trying to hold it shut, and you can smell the burning flesh starting to emanate even from Charles's arms as he's holding the container shut.
If I can, I'll actually, if there's enough room, I'll jump down to actually like help hold it shut. Like even if I have to like jump on the coffin itself to at least try and help with holding it shut.
Yeah, give me a strength and athletics.
Because I do not want that thing to get out of there as much as Charles does. So we're working together here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 7 normal.
So as you hop down, grabbing onto the lid in your glabro form, you can start to feel the fire burning the coffin, which is made of steel itself, so it's starting to warm up the lid. Go ahead and take a point of aggravated damage as it's starting to burn your flesh. But you do manage to keep a good grasp on the lid as both you and Charles hold it shut. You can hear the growling and howling from within as this creature, whatever it is inside, starts to burn and cook inside of the coffin as it's just fire is starting to lick outside of the crease of the coffin. Eventually, the smoke starts to fill the room, making it start to choke and hard to breathe inside. Roll me a stamina and resolve.
All right. I do not know if my Glabro applies to this. It's not a physical test.
It is a physical test. You are in, yeah, it is still considered physical.
My Glabro smoke resist has 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, so you are able to kind of keep your breath and hold on still as you're keeping the container closed. But eventually it stops shaking and stops moving. And at a certain point, Charles releases the container. You can see that the front of his shirt is almost completely blackened and a good portion of it has started to burn off. His flesh is red and blistered. He looks to you. Treasure, huh?
I just looking at him wide-eyed, looking back down to the coffin. What the fuck was that? Did you see that ooze thing out of his mouth? Like what? I don't think that's normal, right?
No, that's not normal. That was an abomination.
I mean, that is a way to describe that. Yeah, that shit was disgusting. What the hell?
I didn't think Deadbeat. This is a very serious thing. And this is a lesson that I was really hoping you would never have to learn. I didn't even honestly think it was possible. They say that if a guru becomes corrupt enough, a leech can feed them their blood and turn them into a werewolf vampire hybrid. I didn't believe it was possible. Gaia's grace protects us from it. The problem was that particular guru, before it died and changed, was a black spiral dancer. So Gaia wasn't protecting it any longer.
So in this building where these like high quality builder people are at, they put in the foundation a werewolf vampire hybrid monster in a coffin locked within. Which that's I thought a whole other subject in of itself, but what the fuck? What is? Why is it here then? Are they're supposed to be like what? Bombs waiting to go off? Like, because it's underneath a bunch of concrete.
Possibly, yes. Possibly someone was going to retrieve this later, or was keeping this for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe an experiment gone wrong, maybe an experiment gone very, very right. But this is beyond troubling. This is something that we're going to have to report back about. But, and I am trusting you with this at the highest level, we can't tell anyone except the Sept leadership.
Not even like my pack?
No. Not until the Sept leadership knows. And if they say it's all right to tell your pack, then we can. But until then, until I've reported to Aspen and until she's given the go-ahead, we can't tell anyone. This could cause serious panic. This could cause a great deal of misinformation. I didn't even believe they existed.
Well, man, well, I mean, if there's more of these, though, like, Juniper's got, like, a crazy vendetta against these people. I mean, I told them about this before, about this secret, not like this specifically, but the secret I was told about before, and she was all up in arms ready to go there with, with just me and her, right? So, like, what if she goes to go on one of these things alone, and she finds something like this? She has no chance of winning. She ain't either of us, so, I mean...
That's why you can tell her it's dangerous and not to go, but you can't tell her what you found. Because that might be... Just trust me on this. We'll make it quick. I will try to tell Aspen immediately. I won't make you keep this secret for long, but I need you to keep it for a short while. Please.
Kind of... at this point, we're, like, out of the hole as I'm... Like, I climbed out at this point as kind of looked down back into the pit, into this horrible smell lingering the air. Just... Look, you took me to break a pretty nice place. I'll give you this one. Look, you can have this one. It was pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie, besides the whole giant monster in the pit thing, so... This once, but... In the future, we better be breaking more shit. Alright?
We will. If this is what we found this time, there must be more things to be found. This was a very surprising first find, but that means there's truth to what you found out, and that means there's much, much more to find. And I will bring you every time.
Alright. Like I said, next time there'll be a bunch of money or something, like, God.
I was hoping there would be.
What do you need a bunch of money for? You probably bought this place, didn't you? You had the keys, I saw you.
It wasn't for me, Deadbeat.
The future upgrade here we talking? I mean, the floor might need some work at this point, but...
You did a good job.
Can't wait to rub in all their faces that I was the one that got us this place. They're all gonna be so fucking mad. But, Charles, you ain't half bad. You ain't half bad.
Neither are you. Now we should get out of here. I've got to get this all dealt with. But you did good.
Yeah, I'll give a nod to that now. I'll just make my way out this point because I do not want to be in this room anymore because it smells like shit.
Let's go get cleaned up and we'll figure out what the next steps are. As the two of you return to the car, making the trip back home, what is Deadbeat thinking after everything he's seen and heard and experienced tonight?
Right now, I'm feeling kind of a conflict of emotions going on. On one hand, I feel pretty rad. I helped to kill this abomination creature, and I had an awesome experience breaking through this floor and just kind of, just actually able to kind of relax. That was pretty nice, surprisingly. I thought, half convinced I was going to go through another, like, military, regime here, or, routine, and having to... But Charles actually kind of chill for once, which was surprising. But on the other, there's a bit of fear now, knowing that I could have gone here. Like, it's kind of that realization, like, I could have gone here alone, or maybe just with Juniper, and then unburied this thing, and who knows what the hell would have happened. I mean, I probably would have won, but considering, it could have been real nasty. So, and the thing that these things actually do exist, is kind of scary, but on this weirdest level, a tiniest amount of intriguing, because that I was, being told that wasn't known that was being possible, but now knowing it is, and how does that work exactly? Can one get some of the power without risking everything and all your life, or becoming a full vampire? Like, 'cause I mean, if I can get a little bit of that, maybe it could work out well. It's just there's like a kind of forbidden fruit aspect to it.
Temptation. The temptation of immortality or power. It is a forbidden fruit, like the apple hanging from the tree in the Garden of Eden. But with that apple always comes the snake. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half of tonight's story. See you shortly.
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaborations with our partnered vendors, Chromatic Creations US, Panchi Artista, Ember Fox Dice, Devlin the Bard, Champs Tramps, and Howlin' Hop Tea. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stpetbynight.com. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all socials with the hashtag St. Pete by Night. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at ko-fi.com/St. Pete by Night to help keep the stories rolling.
Welcome back. In the first half, we saw two Ragabash get to know each other. We saw Rory and Raymond make amends and form a bond. And we saw Deadbeat and Charles unearth something that they had never, ever seen before. Here, in the second half, Delphine approaches the Sept leader to have a very important conversation. We now find ourselves back at the cairn. It is the mid-afternoon. The air is temperate, especially in the cairn where the spiritual resonance helps bring it to a nice, comfortable atmosphere. Delphine, as you approach, the walk to the cairn has become easier. Even in your more fragile state, you have found yourself becoming more accustomed to the path, more accustomed to the journey. It's not as harrowing as it was the first few times you made the trip. And you find that the spirits that guard this place have eventually started giving you access with almost no hesitation whatsoever. They even just let you in, maybe even push you in, trying to help you get to the center even faster so that it isn't so harrowing of a journey. So as you approach crossing the clearing, you find Aspen. Aspen, where are you within the cairn?
Aspen is at the large meeting table where she meets with most of the guru when she's doing pack business or just business with the guru in general. She is wearing a white sleeveless blouse with high-waisted shorts and a pair of high-top chucks. Headband pulls back her wavy blonde hair, and she has a braid behind her ear with a red ribbon in it.
So, Delphine, as you approach Aspen, what's going through your mind?
She never thought that the day she did have to finally reach out to the Sept leader, it wouldn't even be for Geru business, but more for human matters involving the law and estate policy and just boring adult stuff in general. And as she's thinking of this, she wonders if boring adult stuff is going to one day be relieving to deal with, as opposed to all of the stuff that they've been dealing with as Guru, because it seems like boring adult stuff is a lot less complicated now than what their lives are like.
To remind our viewers, the boring adult stuff is the phone call that Delphine had received from a representative at Ballard, Anderson, and Bateman by the name of Jeffrey Klein in regards to her parents' estate. The scene is yours.
Delphine will approach the table. She's wearing just regular high-waisted jeans. She's wearing a tank top, and she's wearing a baggy, chunky but less baggy cardigan that she normally wears. Her hair tied back neatly. As she approaches Aspen, she'll give a respectful nod and just look at the braid that she's wearing a little suspiciously.
Aspen will nod back and wave her over to the table as she kind of puts a notebook to the side with a red pen.
Delphine will walk over and she'll look around at the seats, kind of trying to determine which one she's meant to sit at, because she is aware now that these are each of the table seats has a hole is for a certain position in the sept. So she'll look about the chairs at first, and then she'll look to Aspen as if trying to determine which one to sit at, and just flat out says, "So which one is for guests or non-ranked members?"
Aspen will just gesture to a chair for her to sit at, and she'll sit.
Taking a seat, she'll fiddle with her sleeves a little bit, just nervous habit, and then try to smile politely at Aspen. Thanks for meeting with me. I know that you're busy with a lot of stuff right now, but I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Absolutely. Whenever you need me, that's what I'm here for.
Luckily for you, it's not, or maybe unluckily for you, maybe you might, I don't know, you might find your job boring, or fun, I don't know. I wanted to talk to you actually about a legal matter.
You see Aspen, a smile kind of curls on the corner of her mouth. Oh, okay. Absolutely. So what's going on?
So for a little bit of context, I don't know how much Charles has told you, but first off, whoever he uses, or if he does his background search stuff himself, whoever does it for him, they are really good, first off. And secondly, if they don't make a salary on it, they should, because some companies would kill for those skills. But for the context, right? My parents died shortly before we headed down here, and needless to say, they were company folks who we were upper middle class, and so they left me. They left a will. And I recently got in contact with the estate lawyers, but knowing my family and who they worked for, I think it might be best if I sought out my own legal counsel before approaching this, just because I think it might be a good idea. Like I said, I don't know how much Charles told you, but my parents did work for Pentex.
Oh, okay. Well, that complicates things. But they do have a will, yes?
Yes, they. I recently got a call from. His name is. I don't know if you know him. I don't know how the law circles are, but his name's Jeffrey Klein, and he works for a firm called Ballard, Anderson, and Bateman that's in the city.
You watch as Aspen's light, kind of airy demeanor shifts, and she holds the pen a little bit tighter in her hand as she fidgets with it. Okay.
Is it easy to just gauge? Do I even have to roll for theory?
No, she described it to you, so
okay.
She showed you that, there's nothing to detect.
She looks at the pen and then at Aspen and kind of just leans back in her chair a little bit. I'm assuming you're not cool with them?
Well, besides the fact that Bateman is a terrible person, I guess we could say person for now, and corrupts everything around them and just generally a piece of shit, they also happen to be a very strong leech within the city.
So that's what you kind of meant when you said that the leeches have infested pretty much everything.
That is exactly what I mean.
So I apologize then. The boring adult stuff became Garu stuff, didn't it?
It's usually how it goes here. She rubs her forehead. Honestly, Delphine, I would avoid it. Avoid them. Avoid all of it as much as you possibly can. It's not safe. There's a history there with him and what we've been through. I don't know if people talk to you about Bloody Mary and that story.
I mean, I've heard some things, but I don't have a full context picture. I know that... Sorry.
It's fine. The leeches had their fingers in literally everything. And Bloody Mary was the reason that the guru that were here before us were gone. We happened to, well, get rid of her along with another leech, Marius. But Bateman is still out there, and he is a big, to put it nicely, big thorn in our side. And he has ways of getting into your head, and being near him isn't safe.
Delphine looks a little dejected but also deep in thought. In her mind, she's thinking how, yeah, it could just be easy to leave it, but after Spud's conspiracies, and only to have those conspiracies backed by Charles, who she doesn't view as someone who believes in conspiracies, she can't let go of this potential hypothesis that her parents might have been murdered. And if they had been, this might be the first steps into figuring out who did it. So she sighs a little bit, looks up at Aspen. Charles seems to think that they were murdered. Just the circumstances around their death. All I know is that it was a gas line explosion. I may not have gotten along with them necessarily. We butted heads a few times, but they weren't monsters. At least they were just a bunch of upper middle class white people that just were doing work. If they were killed, I think I need to at least try and find out what happened to them. Just as some repayment for providing me with a comfortable life.
Oh, Delphine, don't think that I think that you should just push this all away and do nothing about it. I'm just saying the route that is Ballard, Anderson, and Bateman isn't safe, and any communication you get from them should go on deaf ears on your side. I can help you with this.
How long so have you just been fighting them this whole time?
Bateman specifically went radio silent recently after after getting rid of Bloody Mary. He went silent. He went underground. We haven't heard much from him since. But we know he's still out there. We know he's probably working whatever he's got going to try and get a foot back on the ground. Some way of getting himself in an advantageous place and biding his time. But we can pursue this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pursue getting closure when it comes to your family. I have other ways of getting what you need as far as the inheritance goes. I can talk to, I assume they were in Michigan, yes?
Bloomsfield Hills, Michigan, yeah.
Okay, I can talk to the probate court up in Michigan, because they were up there when they were deceased. The laws up there are going to be prominent. So I'll talk to the probate court and get the will myself, and we can look over it together and figure out what your inheritance looks like. Mostly what I would need is their full names, their date of death, and their address.
Their names were Ava Duncan and Cameron Duncan, and then she'll give the address and the exact date of their death from when she saw the news article.
Aspen will write it all down in the notebook that she has.
And they'll probably need my name as well. Obviously, it's not Delphine Ruinspeaker, so they'll ask for Brianna Duncan.
Okay, and she writes it down. Is that something that you don't want going around?
This whole Garu thing was an opportunity for me to start new. I didn't fit the mold of my previous life. I just want to, once I get closure on this, I kind of want to leave it behind.
Okay. Then Delphine it is. Only for this.
Thank you.
But seriously, Delphine, do not interact. It will not go well.
I understand, but I also have to wonder, I mean, they don't know us, do they?
You can assume they do. It's always better to assume that they do than to think that they don't and have a rude awakening later. You always have to be cautiously aware.
Because she, hesitates a little bit. I could have spied on them if you wanted me to. I could have met with the lawyers at daytime, talked to some spirits in the building.
Where he resides, where he works, we've tried to get in there a few times and see what all of that was about, and it never went well. And I don't want to put you in a situation where you could potentially get hurt.
She smirks a little bit ruefully and just kind of lets out a little bit of a laugh. We're Garu. We're always in a situation where we can get hurt.
If I can help it.
I understand. But I know at some point they're going to be a problem again if they're still not a consistent problem. And I'm just saying that the offer is there. I would look in on them if you wanted me to. I mean, I am a silent strider. I'm good at sneaking and scouting and remaining undetected.
What about this? You guys are new here. You are trying to get a footing. I'm opening a firm. Have opened a firm. It's in the works. There's a lot to it. If you would like to work closely with me, I can make that happen. And any information that I can get, you will know as soon as I get the information. Also, I can talk to Artie. He's our glasswalker, and see if there's any information he can get other than what we already have on your parents.
She pauses for a moment. Like a job at your firm?
If you need one. That allowance is going to dry out eventually, don't you think? She smiles.
Can you hire someone who doesn't even have a high school diploma for a law firm?
Well, that depends. Do you want to go back to school?
I mean, I was good at school. I got straight A's. I liked school, actually. I wanted to go to college to be, I don't know, I was going to do something that had to do with books or with human study. I liked learning about, like, archaeology and stuff. Do something.
How are you with research?
I'm okay with research, I think. Did enough research papers in English class.
We can get something working. But there is one condition.
What's that?
You and your pack leave Spud alone.
She freezes a little bit. I didn't know that you guys knew Spud up until recently, and I've kind of known him personally since before I was even this.
Well, now it's a bit more complicated.
I can promise not to take Deadbeat anymore, but Spud's my friend. You're basically telling me not to see one of my friends anymore.
He's an asset for us. And there's a mutual respect between us. And I don't need you making things harder for him.
She pauses and thinks about it. Fine. We'll leave Spud alone. And Kent, I am lying.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that manipulation and subterfuge. And Aspen, if you want to give me a wits and insight. What'd you get?
4 with a crit.
I spent a willpower, and I got 8 with a crit.
Okay. She means what she says. She is not going to... She will leave Spud alone.
Okay, perfect. It'll be good for him to know because he's going to be working quite closely with all of us with what we're working on with the plants. So
She nods. I noticed that he had some of the fungus in his trailer the last time I went and saw him. And I thought, since you are working closely with him, you should know that he does have a friend, a female friend that lives around there, described as the raccoon's mother. And she's a survivalist, according to him. So I have to assume that she's a leech.
interesting. Okay, good to know. He's a strange one, so I'm sure he keeps strange company. He's got a pet raccoon. I mean,
It's dual custody. He's cute. His name's Pippin.
sure.
Well, I'll, and she'll write down her cell phone number. Here's my number if you wanna, and my email if you need to email me anything about work stuff. Or like, I don't know if you do any onboarding or anything like that.
I will get with my partner and we will get things figured out, and I will talk to Artie and see if he can get any other information for you.
Thanks. But that's all I needed to talk to you about. I do appreciate your time, and I am working on and she'll gesture to the middle of the table, the runner for the table.
She smiles. Looking forward to it.
And then she'll get up and respectfully bow her head to Aspen before turning and heading off.
As you head off across the clearing, departing the table, you actually see another individual that you haven't seen before enter from the other side of the clearing. Someone new, seemingly to you, to the Sept. A first-time appearance as a man seemingly in his late 20s with short, sandy blonde hair and a goatee, wearing a vest and a button-up shirt and slacks and shoes, walks in and approaches Aspen and leans in and gives her a kiss on the cheek as she stands up, and the two of them depart the cairn together, heading in the opposite direction. What's going through Delphine's mind as she leaves the meeting with Aspen?
She understands the concern of not wanting such new folks to the cairn and the Sept tackling or even spying on something that they've been dealing with since they've got here and haven't even been able to suppress enough to make them insignificant. But she is frustrated that she can't help yet, especially since she is a silent strider, and it seemed like something that she could have been good at with infiltration. But she's mostly frustrated that she had to lie to Aspen because she knows that if it gets found out that she's still seeing Spud, she's going to get in trouble for it. So now she's going to have to figure out ways of getting what she needs from Spud without getting caught.
This is her first encounter where her addiction challenges her loyalty. It hasn't been a real issue before now. It's always skirted the edges slightly. And yes, while it was part of the trouble up in Michigan, part of what led to her rite of shame and part of what led to her being sent down to Florida, this is the first time it's going to cause a real problem for her in this guru life. Addictions are a terrible thing. We now transition to our next scene, where for the first time since Stepford Hell, Since meeting with Eliza, the pack reconvenes at home to catch up with one another, to see if cooler heads have finally prevailed across the pack, and to see if they can all be on the same page once more, to exchange information, to see how they've each been doing, and to see what the next steps are moving forward. It's been the better part of 2, almost 3 weeks since the pack has shared space together. Most of the time has been spent passing by one another, like ships passing in the night. Other than the few interactions that 2, maybe 3 of you have had at a time, one-on-one or one-on-2, most of the time you've been avoiding one another, especially since the tense encounter that happened at Stepford Hell. But now, you reconvene. Because it's time to get on the same page. Each of you have been told in your own way. And each of you were told by Eliza the last time you were all together that the pack bond is important. That you need to come together and grow together. It's been kind of hammered into your heads since you were brought to Tampa, the importance of this bond. That it's going to keep you alive. That's the way to survive, that it's the way to grow, that it's the way to succeed. Boy, has it been a struggle to get on that same page. Showing that vulnerability, opening up, that's a very alien concept to some of you, as you've had to be guarded most of your life. That vulnerability would be punished in your old lives. It would even be punished recently by each other. Showing that kind of vulnerability would result in mockery, jest, or just downright pain. But maybe that's started to change. Maybe growth has occurred. Maybe you're on the path to something new. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just the same old story. Maybe this meeting will end in bickering and infighting, and somebody getting kicked or punched. Maybe you'll just revert back to your same old ways. But doesn't that get tiring? Let's see what happens. As all of you assemble in the living room of your cramped, at times seeming to fall apart house, the scene is yours.
Delphine will just be sitting on the couch, dressed a little bit more baggy clothing, more comfortably, probably PJs, and she'll have probably decided to sit next to Deadbeat and is looking pretty comfortable and just at ease next to him.
As Deadbeat sitting on the couch as well, I'm just I don't have a shirt on actually. I just have pajama pants. I have a bag of chips right next to me that I'm eating out of, kind of looking around, kind of nonchalantly, looking kind of bored, and just wanting to not be here. Just kind of, just looking bored.
I'll be probably sitting at the kitchen table, drinking a glass of water and having my gun fully disassembled and cleaning it, because I need to do regular maintenance on it because I've been going to the shooting range regularly now. So I'm just going through those motions. And sitting in the space with everyone.
I would actually probably be sitting at the kitchen table with Raymond and just kind of watching as he works on cleaning his gun.
Rory would be sitting on the floor doing similar with the crossbow, taking it apart, doing regular maintenance, and just cleaning it, taking inventory of how many bolts she has left. And she'd be wearing kind of like a loose, baggy t-shirt, kind of falling off one shoulder, and like short shorts underneath. Feeling very comfortable in the loose clothing again, compared to what she's been wearing as of late.
I think this is the first time we've actually just chilled together in a little while.
Helps that two of us have weapons. You know, makes it a little bit. I don't want to run my mouth as much when, you know, we got gun nut over there and chick with the crossbow down right in front of me.
You can literally turn into a giant werewolf.
I'll go put it away if it's bothering you.
Nah, I ain't. Just, you know. Also, you haven't been shot with a gun before. You don't know it actually does still hurt, you know? Not that you would know about that.
You don't know if I have or not.
No, I'm talking to Delphine here, who shot me with a gun, you know, not even that long ago.
B, I said I was sorry. I apologized. Can we move on, please?
Look, it's chill, but still, it hurted. Okay, I can turn into a big wolf, but it hurt.
I mean, it looks like you took it like a champ, but I mean, sounds different now.
I took it pretty well, but like I said, it still hurt. I mean, hey.
Would it make you feel better if you shot Delphine? Eye for an eye, tit for tat.
No, that's not really. I mean, not gonna lie, I actually never shot a gun before, as crazy it may sound.
Maybe Ray could teach us.
I mean, I haven't gone to the range, so if you guys ever want to tag along, I mean, I only have my pistol and the bolt action from the ship, but I can teach you on those. They're pretty nice for beginners to learn on.
Isn't it supposed to be easy or whatever? I mean, isn't anyone supposed to be learn how or could like use a gun if they wanted to? The whole point why they were made, because like easy to use.
Sure, everyone can use it, but there are subtleties to aiming. You know, how to align your body with your stance. That way you actually get accurate shots. You know, how to take the recoil so you don't shatter your wrist. You know, things like that.
Like he said, all different types of firearms need to be handled differently.
The last time we got together, we didn't really get to talk about what happened before Stepford. Not in depth with Ember.
We're doing just fine without him. I mean, why do we need Ember?
Well, we could be doing better. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been looking into things around here, and things are a little bit more fucked than I thought. Like, I just learned recently that this really big law firm here in the city, like, it's not even just based here in the city. It's like it's like a franchise or something. I don't know, but like apparently they got leeches in it. Like they're run by a really powerful leech that even Aspen doesn't doesn't want to be around. She said like that apparently he can do stuff to like mines or something. Like, I don't know. I didn't get the full details, but I think he can like manipulate people pretty good.
that's like social commentary right there, man. Hey, the jokes write themselves, I guess.
And then we got the whole spore people situation, which is not something we were even prepared for. And so I'm sure more situations are going to come up that we're going to need all the help we can get. And Ember extended a hand and offered us that help. So, I mean, it's not a bad idea to think about it a little bit more.
They are a fire. Sorry.
Oh, no. It seems like we came to some sort of consensus beforehand.
I mean, I do, after seeing the spores face to face and in action, I think that we can do worse. We could do worse than a fire spirit. Because not even fungus can withstand fire.
I mean, if like Ember can give fire powers, and I don't remember them saying give him fire powers, but maybe. And also consensus. I think you mean to say that like 2 or 3 of you said yes, and like the rest of us are kind of like, you know, mingling, or at least I didn't say yes yet. You know, just saying.
Yeah, that's why I said we came to some sort of a consensus. I didn't say all of us agreed, but it seemed like most of us were leaning. So, I mean, open up discussions again. Maybe we can try to figure something out.
Show of hands who's still on the fence.
I'll raise my hand. Wow, just me, huh? Okay.
So why do you what are your hesitations, B?
Because, like, they're going to want something in return, right? I mean, we don't know what this fire spirit thing wants. It's been pretty mysterious, talking about give away each other's secrets and everything and knowing stuff about us. I mean, doesn't that kind of ring a little shady to you, personally?
I mean, I can see where you're thinking that, but she'll look around the room. We don't know each other. So literally anything that Embers could have said could have come off as a secret. We're not exactly being open with each other. We are withholding details about each other. Even, like, I talked to Ray the other day. I don't know any of your favorite colors. I don't know where any of you were born. I don't know where you went to school or what you wanted to go to college for. I don't know if you had siblings. I don't know anything about you guys. And we're just supposed... I think it should matter a little bit. If we're supposed to trust each other, to watch each other's backs in a fight, like on the boat, there should be some understanding of who we are to each other. And if we're supposed to be a pack and be friends, I guess. I know we're just a bunch of people that got thrown together, but we're stuck with each other.
Well, from what I understand of each other and what we talk, you know, how we've talked and what bit I have known, none of us here are good people. And if you think about that fire spirit thing, knowing everything about us, or at least knows secrets about us, and knows how we are, why would a fire spirit like that want to interact with us? Why would any spirit want to hook up with us, knowing, you know, what kind of fuck ups we are, right? I mean, they either got to be really desperate, or they ain't a good kind of spirit, you know? They might want something kind of to pull one over on us. I mean, can we really trust it?
Deadbeat. I want to ask you something. You keep saying fire spirit, but the spirit has presented to us with the name Ember. And, well, the way I've seen it, based on what Ember has shared with us, is maybe it's potential. Embers have the potential to be something bigger and brighter, or fizzle out. We're all brand new. We're all young. maybe they, in return, want us to feed into that potential, see where it goes.
So us at our, kind of rock bottom here, kind of getting tossed out by another sept, kind of, not being liked or respected by anyone. Two of us with the right of shame. If a potential spirit would want to go with us instead of like, I don't know. I mean, the dude with a bunch of money and nice car and like superpowered strength, Charles. I feel like he has a lot more potential than the rest of us. I mean, the rest of them too. Also, like, literally anyone else.
Do you really think that spirits care about humans that have a bunch of money and cars and fame? Like, do you think that all spirits care about stuff like that?
You know what I mean? That he like they do a lot more than us. I mean, they can do a lot more than us. And we got, like I said, two of us got right of shame. We're kind of just, I don't know, like low life guru. You know how it is.
Are you actually like complimenting them right now? Like, are you complimenting Charles right now?
I'm not complimenting Charles. It's just like I can acknowledge that they have their shit together, at least more than we do.
What do you think?
No, you can go ahead.
What do you think, Ray?
I agree with what Rory was saying. I mean, Ember may not be entirely a fire spirit, might be the start of one. And yes, Deadbeat, we are at rock bottom. We are potentially at the lowest point. But because we're at rock bottom, we can move up. And we can move up to great lengths. So potentially, that's what Ember wants. And from the conversations we've had, the first one that me, Delphine, Rory had, when we first got to talk to it at length, and then when it approached all of us, it seems like Ember wants to experience the world like they just woke up. And with us being at our low point, and with us being new to the world, and with it just waking up, we will have the same perception of the world as Ember. We will grow along with it.
Yeah, it probably sees us as kindred spirits because all of us have kind of like crashed and burned, and now we're just smoldering embers ourselves. So.
Take a moment to like look to everyone else in the room for a second, like studying their features, like their face for it. Just, you all like genuinely believe that like we're gonna make it up, like we just got sent to a war zone and we're gonna be something, like unironically, like for real.
I mean, since I've been here, I've learned more in 3 months now than I had in 9 at Hell. I've been getting educated by Charles and Eliza, and hell, even Aspen offered me a job. That's more than I can say of anyone up in Hell.
I mean, I've just kind of realized that I don't quite actually want to die yet. So, just trying to do the things that'll stop that from happening anytime soon.
And I mean, think about where we were 3 months ago and where we are now. Obviously, we've done good things and we've proven ourselves to some extent. Obviously, we're capable. We're starting. we're beginning that journey. And if Ember wants to join us on the journey and we can get help from it, I mean, I don't see the downside. Yes, they know things about us, but you asked the question last time, Deadbeat, what my secrets were, and Ember gave you the option of telling you, but your secrets would be told. So obviously there's a stipulation that our secrets would stay our secrets. It's not going to be something where everything that Ember knows will be shared to everyone. Seems like it can keep secrets.
And besides, like we keep being told, and it keeps being proven, there's a shit ton of spirits watching us at any given time anyway. So we might as well make friends with a few of them.
Well, I guess. What do you think, Rory? You're the only one that hasn't said anything yet. What? You think we got our rise to fame story here? Actually think that it's possible?
She'll put her crossbow down and actually square herself to face Deadbeat and kind of actually, like, look him in the eye. I'd actually believe we do. And I've already seen it a little bit. I don't know if anyone else has. And, well, out of everyone here, you know a bit of my story, so if you think so, I think so too.
Why are you on the fence of thinking that you're capable of being better? Why are you hesitating on believing in yourself?
No, it ain't like that. It's just man, look. I mean, have you seen how we were? I mean, literally at the last mission we did, we ended it with two of us kicking and fighting and screaming, and the whole thing went down, and showed everyone in front of everyone yet again that we're a bunch of fools. I mean, that's how we always have been, right? So I mean, we can pretend that we're not. We can pretend and be delusional and think that we can be these heroes or cool guys, but look, I'm just saying, ever since hell, we've fucked up. I mean, wouldn't it be better just to accept that and just kind of chill, coast as we are now, and just make it by?
Deadbeat, I don't think we're gonna be heroes. If we're being honest, I don't think anyone Garu would be a hero in this story. I think we can be better, and I think we can survive. But ultimately, I think that we're just part of something that's just bigger than us, and we can either be a part of it, or we can just distance ourselves and stay the same. And I've already told you, you have value, you have worth. I think you are better than this.
I just shake my head, like kind of looking down now. Just, well, if all of you are just going to be delusional like this, guess I can join in. Might as well give it a shot. I mean, kind of, they say, like, packs deluded together, stay together. I mean, might as well. It's kind of annoying always arguing and fighting all the time. It's kind of getting old.
I mean, one thing I did learn from Eliza when I was learning the right is that we don't have to permanently have Ember as our pack patron. We can always, if we feel like Ember's not the right fit for us, that patronage can always change. So it's not a permanent stick. So after a while, if we decide that as a pack that this isn't working, we can change it. And we can decide that together later on.
We all have our shit. We all have our skeletons in our closet. We all have our past. We all have our secrets. But if we actually start working on actually being a pack, when shit hits the fan, we can try to help each other out.
I mean, I've covered for can cover for you guys in a fight. Look, you don't have to worry about that. I can actually kind of my job there.
Yeah, 100%. That is your good. That's one of your strengths. It's one thing that we can rely on. And remember, I don't think anyone expects everyone here in the pack to change dramatically and become a completely different person. I mean, we're all going to still argue and fight. We're going to take jabs at each other. We're going to get mad. We're going to argue. But as long as later on we can come together, that's all that a pack really is, right? You can see how they, the others in the Sept, how they work together and how they operate. And it seems like a good thing if we make a stride for that.
I have a small smile on my face. I kind of look up at Ray as I say, do they just drill the corny into you, or is that all natural born? Do you just have all that?
Oh no, I picked it up slowly but surely. It's a skill I developed, trust me.
Delphine will chuckle a little bit.
And I guess this would be a good time to say it, because I was like, got told by some people about some stuff, and apparently this would help. That even though that he was a total asshole and that totally deserved what happened to his place, I am sorry that I was part of that I got us in trouble to begin with, and that I got, even though Sean deserves his place to get wrecked like that, and that fuck that dude. Look, I was told, I could be the, I guess, bigger man and apologize. So there, I'm sorry that happened.
At this apology, I turn and look directly at Deadbeat and just kind of stare at him for a minute, trying to see if he's being genuine or not.
Unfortunately, yes.
So no roll required. Yes, he's being genuine.
My
In a way, only Deadbeat can be genuine, I should say.
Yeah, well, I mean, even for Deadbeat, this was better than a usual Deadbeat apology, so my face kind of just turns into like a huh kind of face, and I nod once and turn back around.
While we're on the subject of just putting things out there too, I do have a message from Aspen that and she'll like fidget a little bit, look at Rory and Deadbeat specifically. We have to leave Spud alone. we're not allowed to go near him anymore.
Oh, we're not gonna go near him anymore, right? And, like, I do like the wink, like, yeah.
No, like we can't
What?
go near him anymore.
Why? Why are we not allowed to go do business with him or near him or whatever?
He's working on sensitive stuff for the Sept. And we can't risk bringing attention to him or bothering him.
What the fuck? The whole fucking Sept is involved with that fucking guy? You three are involved with that fucking guy? What the fuck?
Are you really surprised that I'm involved with him? Really?
No.
Delphine looks confused. How do you know about that guy?
Because where I got my stuff, I went and picked up from him. And Juniper tagged along.
That guy's a fucking creep. Why the fuck is everybody dealing with him? Why the fuck is the Sept dealing with him?
Whoa.
How have none of you realized how much of a fucking crazy guy that person is? What the fuck? There's something not right about him. There is something not right.
Hold on. I'm gonna put all my cleaning equipment down. Who's Spud?
Oh, you're the one that doesn't know. Get a load of this guy.
Delphine will hesitate for a moment and then look at Ray and look at Juniper and Rory. Notably does not look at Deadbeat at all. Spud is my drug dealer that I've known since before I changed. And she'll take a deep breath. He's also a leech.
I'm
What
sorry, what?
the fuck?
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Spud is a leech, but it's weird. He's a different kind of leech. He can stand out in the sun.
Oh, okay, so that just excuses everything else, and suddenly leeches are cool, and we just fucking allow them to live and be around and do their drugs and fucking work with them? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
It's complicated.
Is going to stand up and step away from her crossbow because at the moment she does not trust herself near it and is just going to walk into the kitchen and grab a drink.
Yeah, I'm sure it is fucking complicated. No wonder the Sept was going on about, oh, we're different here. We do things different. Yeah, you work with the fucking worm. That's fucking great. That's fucking great. One shit show into another fucking shit show. Are you fucking kidding me? And I get up and I just like start storming off towards the bedroom.
When my education, like my academic educations and lessons with Charles, would he have told me about Chicago in any capacity? Like any, like with like histories of like Septs having complicated, like, I don't know.
That's a long-term lesson. That'd probably be pretty deep. You're still pretty early on. That's pretty.
Damn it!
Yeah, that's pretty complicated lore. So that's a little harder to get into this early on, especially.
Okay. Delphine will just sigh heavily. Juniper, I don't know the intricacies of their relationship with Spud, but Spud is working for us. Working for the Sept. He's providing a service. I don't doubt that we could honestly, like any single one of the leadership could probably tear his hair off, his hair and head off on a whim if they wanted to. But they haven't because he provides a use. Maybe he's feeding information about the leeches. Maybe, from what we saw, he's been working on something to deal with the spores and the shrooms. But we can't assume. We don't know the intricacies. Sometimes the world isn't black and white. It's fucking shades of gray.
As Delphine is going on, I start walking back out of the bedroom with my my axe. And I'm very clearly fucking raging out right now, and I'm so fucking upset. And I stop and look at Delphine, and once she's finished, I say, okay, yeah, that's great. He's really fucking helping out by supplying you, and I point at her with my axe, with a fucking meth, and saying whatever he can to the Sept to stay alive. Who the fuck knows if he is giving out information, if it's even real, if it's even true, and who the fuck knows what he's actually doing with these fucking spores and this fucking mushroom bullshit. He could just be making them stronger. You know what fucking cures the fungi situation? Fire. Fire cures it.
Fire's big and messy.
Yeah, well, so is this fucking shit with high quality builders and Pentex and everything else. Man, I really fucking was starting to think that this Sept was good and was different and everything was gonna be fine, everything was gonna get better. But you know what? It does all fucking suck. It does all fucking suck. And sometimes diplomacy doesn't work. And you know what? I'm so fucking done. I'm so fucking done. I'm gonna take care of this fucking problem. I'm done. I'm so fucking done with all of this fucking bullshit. Morally gray this, morally gray that. I don't give a fuck. It's all gonna be fucking red and orange here pretty fucking soon.
Oh my god. Juniper, can you just chill the fuck out, dude? Like, I'm scared that if you fall off from your horse, your high horse, you're gonna fucking die from the fall. Like, dude, what do you even do? Like, you have all this judgment and you act like this high and mighty Puritan, but what the fuck do you even do? Like, what have you done to really, like, do anything here or, like, show that you're this amazing person that's way better than everyone else? Like, dude, I'm over it, bro. Just chill out. Like, I don't have to get up and stop you from going out that door to kill this fucking dude. Like, bro, settle down.
Okay.
I'm chill, comfy here. My spot is nice.
Okay.
I don't think that I am better than anybody else. I don't think that I am
Hey.
better.
Enough. Juniper, I can understand your anger. I am also angry. We have been taught this entire time that, and all the training we've done has been about destroying leeches. It's all we've been training to do for the months we've been down here. And the fact that the Sept is knowingly working with one, it's bullshit. I agree. But we have an avenue that we never had at the previous Sept, and we can ask them why. It might not be the answer you want, and it might not give us anything worthy of information that would be useful. But we can at least ask them and figure out why they're doing it. And if their answer is crap, then we can try to deal with this. But don't run off and try to fix this problem that may not need to be fixed until we have all the information regarding it. I agree that we need to fight the worm and destroy it at all costs. But there are many ways to fight the worm. There are many ways to go about it. It's not all about completely destroying it and demolishing everything in our path. We can find alternate ways to fight it. Maybe this is one of the alternate ways. So just take a second and just think for a moment. And Deadbeat, there's no reason to attack Juniper for her reaction. She's not on a high horse. She's not on some moral high ground. She's angry because of what we've been taught for the past 3 months, that this whole situation is crap. The fact that they have been hypocritical this entire time. So there's no reason to come at her.
At this point,
everyone just needs to cool down.
The sliding back door opens, and Stakes walks in lupus form. She walks into the kitchen, opens the fridge, grabs a beer, pops it open. Hey, the neighbors were asking what leeches are and what seps are and what, do you guys want to tell them all the litany too while you're at it?
Yeah, I guess our walls are pretty. I mean, they're like, what, crackheads over there? They probably won't, like, care, right? I mean, at least cops or whoever. I mean,
We still
lawyers.
gotta be careful.
God damn it. Sucks. I just
That's
crossed
rule
my
number 1, kids.
Something about a veil?
That's good.
The first rule is combat the worm wherever it dwells and whenever it thrives.
And number 2.
All right.
Respect the territory of another.
Number 3.
Delphine will wait to see if anyone else wants to answer.
Accept an honorable surrender.
And 4.
The veil?
No, you should know this one, though. It's submit to those of higher station.
Oh, fuck you.
Anyway, the veil's one of them. And that's one you should remember when you're screaming at the top of your lungs. Here's something to consider. The day you got here, one of you broke 3 of the rules. In one action. Another of you broke rules in another action. Maybe you need to be taught in black and white before you learn the gray. Because you weren't taught well the first time. Because so far, even the black and white's not getting through your thick skulls. Out here shouting in the middle of a neighborhood.
Well, I may have some good news about that at least. We might get a new place not near a bunch of people. I've heard from Charles that we'll be getting potentially one of those places that we cleared out, for us. Though there won't be people nearby to hear us screaming, at least.
I'm sorry, I must have my earbuds in right now. Did you say one of the homes we cleared out from those things?
Are you
Yeah.
saying that Charles is giving us a high quality builder's house that we cleared out from all of the, and I look over at Stakes, mold issue?
Nothing like that. No. He wouldn't move us into a high-quality builder's house, so don't even get started on that. But there might be upgrades in the future because you're doing such good work. But turning around and breaking rules again, and tipping off a bunch of normies about the existence of other things isn't a good step in the right direction again. Just for fuck's sake. They know what they're doing. You don't. You're a bunch of fucking kids. You want to play with the adults? Ask them. Ask them what they're doing. They'll probably tell you. They haven't lied to you yet. Yeah. Guru have worked with leeches before. This isn't new. It's usually short-lived. But how do you think we learned about leeches?
Sorry for shouting.
It's all right. I get it. Learning is hard. But you gotta get over this. All of you. They're not the enemy. The enemy is growing. Literally. I had to learn to trust them too. I learned the same way you did about the nation. They filled my head with all that shit too. And when I came down here, I didn't trust them either, but then I got a good sniff of them. I saw the way they did things. And yeah, they treated you like shit. But you know what? You were a bunch of shitheads.
I didn't mean to upset anyone. I was just trying to be honest with you guys.
I'm not upset at you, Delphine. You didn't upset me. I'm upset that, and this is not to piss you off or anything what I'm about to say, but I'm upset that this sept is working with a leech who is also giving you meth and supplying drugs to other people in this pack, and it's just a giant fucking elephant in the room that nobody seems to want to address.
And we were told to leave him alone. We're not supposed to go near him anymore. Happy?
Are you gonna do that? Are you just gonna suddenly quit? Cold turkey? Never see him again? Out of nowhere? Without any mental preparation or anything?
We can just find different ways to get it. I mean, it can't be that hard.
It's not.
Or we could help you work on that.
Or, no offense, Juniper. No offense, but or you can mind your own business and let me deal with my own personal problems.
Damn. Got some
I'm
money.
not asking to be fixed right now. What needs fixing is the group.
You're part of the group. If we're all gonna start working as a group and getting better and doing the self-growth thing that involves you too, and I'm not trying to just single you out, we all have our fucking shit.
And I can deal with my shit when I'm ready.
And what if it gets so bad that you can't do it on your own, but you're still refusing to admit that? Not saying it's happening right now. I'm just saying, what do we do at that point?
Then it's a good thing we've got a worm foe who said he'd take us out if we're a risk to the sept.
That's not an option. That you are willing to go that far to just get eliminated if it gets too bad. We, like Juniper said, are a pack and we need to deal with some things together. You may not want to deal with it right this moment, but we can and will help you in the situation. Didn't we just have a conversation about that last week or so?
Delphine will kind of start shrinking back into the cushions of the sofa and kind of scooch a little closer to Deadbeat, kind of trying to use him as a wall.
Puppy steps. Y'all are still puppies.
So how are we deciding like who needs to fix what? Because it sounds like we're kind of like what's the line here, all right? Because I mean, I know we're talking about doing pack and getting better at shit, right? Like I understand that part, but like, you know, Delphine's like a whole grown ass woman. Like, you know, she could probably decide what she wants to do and what she needs to fix on. I mean, are we gonna just start telling people what they need to change and how they need to change? Because I think that's kind of bullshit. I mean, I think we all have our right to say who we are and what we should work on and shouldn't. I mean, I don't know about you, but like, if you told me, "Hey, Deadbeat, stop eating chips," I'd be like, "Yeah, you know, fuck you."
Why don't we just focus on Ember? Puppy steps. This leech business, it's above our pay grade right now. We can ask Charles about it as a pack. And then as a pack, just focus on Ember.
I take a deep breath and glare at everyone before starting to walk back to the bedroom, murmuring to myself and just saying angry shit about not realizing that we're all just fucking idiots and can't think above our pay grade. Mumbling to myself as I go to put my axe away.
Well, I need to fix this beer into my stomach. Stakes walks out the back door again.
Rory will take a giant swig of the beer she grabbed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy about this, but you're right. And when you are ready to work on it, Delphine, I'll be there for you. If you want. But I don't want to see your death either. In either of those scenarios. And definitely not anytime soon. And then she'll go sit back on the floor with her beer and start putting her crossbow back together.
At this point, there's a knock at the front door.
If there not be the cops from the neighbors, I swear to God. I'm pretty sure they heard her yelling to them about an axe and killing someone. I don't want to complain to police.
I've got it. And she
I
gets...
can get it.
I'm closest to the door, and she's already, like, walking towards the door.
Who's at the door? I say as I come back out.
She'll look through the peephole first to see if it's the cops.
Not cops, no. You see a young woman with brown ringleted hair going down to her shoulders and a baby on her hip.
Shit, I think it might be our neighbors complaining. Hang on, I'll get rid of them. And she'll crack open the door. Hi, sorry about the noise. We'll keep it down, I promise.
No, it's nothing like that. Is Bradley home? And this is where our session comes to a close. Thank you so much to these amazing players. Thank you so much to our guests, Walks and Champ. We are going to be taking 2 weeks off from Hellhounds, but when we return, oh boy, does Deadbeat's past come knocking, quite literally. Thank you so much for watching. We've got another episode of Rage Across Tampa this Tuesday over on Twitch before we take a little break from there also. But like I said, we'll be back with our next episode of Hellhounds on May 30th. So come right back in 2 weeks here on YouTube to see what happens after this. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. Hellhounds is produced in agreement with the World of Darkness and Dark Pack. The storyteller for Hellhounds is Kent. Tonight's characters were voiced by Jay, Lilith, Ben, Nikki, and Caity. Visit our website at stpbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become a part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.